Yes, yes, yes. You're in tune to the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. And we are live. Okay. What's wrong with my screen? Let's have a look at the screen. Let's fix this up just nice and neatly. Okay. So, it's Monday, 22nd of January. We're in the last third of the first month of 2024, and there are quite a few things to talk about. Okay, well, first things first. Hello and welcome. Let me do the sound check. Let's drop the music for a moment. Let's cut that and drop the music for a moment. Let's cut that and drop the music. And the sound is good. Session is alive. Okay. So, begs the question. Where do we begin? Tempted to go for the tank thing straight away. Tempted to go straight into the tank thing. Tank Davis says he wants 2 Ferraris. He's insulted, somehow being insulted by the offer from Al Turkey, His Excellency. So, where are we? We have an article on that. Let's stop sharing that. Let's start sharing this. There are we. Boom, boom, boom. And there you should see Tank Davis revs engine on Saudi deal, demands Ferraris to fuel the Haney fight. So Tank saying that basically they have to, Al Turkey, His Excellency, Al Turkey's got to give him two Ferraris just to talk about it. Not even a case of accepting it. No, he wants 2 Ferraris just to talk about it. And well, a lot to say about that versus Mayer. And of course, the big controversy of the weekend was Jonas versus Mayer. Where are we? So we got to talk about that too. There's a bunch of other little side topics. But the question is, where do you want to start? Okay, I think I'm going to go with the tank thing. Who we got in here? The big boys boxing. We need some the lithium, can't pronounce that, crystals for the warp drive. Indeed we did. But we got there. And the Bruce Gas, boxing, jazz, and more up in the building. How do you do? Okay, so what's this here? Let's get that in. And then get this show on the road. Okay, what's this? Get rid of that. We're good to go. Show. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so Tank Davis demands Ferraris to fuel Haney fight. Okay, so Gervonta Tank Davis, I don't know if people have seen, I don't know if everyone's seen the story, so let's get through the story and then we talk about it. Okay, so, hold on. Hold on 1 second. Let's pin that. Okay, that's pinned. Okay, good. Oh, as a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat, while we're there, why don't I just put the poll up? I don't know if people are going to want to talk about it. We need to talk about it. Who won? Who won? Jonas? Oh. Jonas Mayer had an option draw. Okay, let's start the poll. Okay, so we pinned and we got the poll. Okay, so everything's set. Who's that geezer? Oh, isn't that Francis Beckenbauer? France Beckenbauer. Okay, so Gervonta Tank Davis says Saudis have made him mad. He wants them to send 2 Ferraris to get the ball rolling for him to fight with WBC light welterweight champion Devin Haney in Saudi Arabia. But they've made him mad. Okay, so Tank's demand for expensive cars is him sending a message to the Saudis that he's the star and Haney is just the lowly B-side, the white bully opponent who isn't a draw. Okay, so the 2 Ferraris that Tank wants is just the tip of the iceberg for what he'd be asking to take a fight against the large 165-pound Haney, as he'll likely want an enormous amount of money, perhaps more than what he got for his recent fight against social media star Ryan Garcia. Okay, so how much did he get for Garcia? Well, isn't it reputed to be around 30 mil? I think it was reputed to be around 30 mil. Okay, so His Excellency Al Turkey recently says that he wants to stage the fight between Haney and Tank Davis. Some believe that Al Sheikh intends that the 25-year-old Haney should be the A-side in the promotion, which clearly hasn't sat well with Tank, who is viewed by some as who's viewed as the face of boxing. Are you having a laugh? By who? By who? It's coming off a massive 1 million plus pay-per-view fight against Ryan Garcia in April. Okay, it's a 1 million against Ryan Garcia, but it was against the opponents. I think it would be fair to say that Ryan Garcia brought in the bulk of those people. So I don't think it's fair for Tank Davis to act as if that 1 million people paid to see him. Partially, of course. But I think the bigger draw was Ryan. I think the bigger draw was Ryan. It's unquestionable. And yes, Tank can draw depending on who he's fighting, of course. Okay, so Tank being the B-side against Haney would be a shock to certain fans, but a signal that the Saudis view him as the true star. Haney isn't a star, says this article, because his fighting style is very boring and safety first, like Shakur Stevenson. Well, listen, that's a bit foolish to say that Haney isn't a star. Haney is a star, of course he is. Is his style scintillating? I wouldn't say his style is overly scintillating. You've heard me criticize him over here before. It's a little bit straightforward. It has been a little bit straightforward, but over the years, over time, he's shown more wrinkles to his game. I was very impressed with his fight against Teofimo Lopez, who I thought Teofimo would give him all kinds of problems. But I was surprised at how well Devin Haney acquitted himself in there and made the adjustments. And in my humble opinion, according to my scorecard, legitimately beat Lomachenko, Vasily. So he has shown wrinkles to his game. And then, of course, his dismantling of Regis Prograis just the other day. And, of course, he took care of Kambosos down in Australia, down under, when they tried to stack the cards heavily against him. Even saying that Devin Haney's father couldn't step foot in Australia because he had some kind of conviction 30 years ago, which was utter lunacy. And eventually they let him in. Immigration let Haney Senior in with what, a couple of days prior to the fight. So they tried every trick in the book to get Haney out of pocket. Tried to shortchange him on the money. He said, it's fine, I'll take it. It's fine, I'll take it. Tried to shortchange him every which way possible, every which way but loose. Tried to shake him down every which way but loose. But Haney was confident in his abilities. And he said, hey, it's cool, I'll take it. And he went down there 2 times, not just once, but 2 times, and took care of business with Kambosos. The audacious Kambosos. And so now Haney has gone up in my estimation. I have been critical of him in the past, but like I say, with his recent form, I've had to reassess. I've had to reassess and give him some of the credit he's due, especially against Lomachenko. That was one hell of a fight. That was one hell of a fight. You know, you could watch it and think different ways. You could watch it and see something, and then watch it another time, see something else. That's a fight, man. That's a fight. And I had to give him his respect for his tenacity, for his ability to stick to a game plan, then change the game plan and understand what was going on. You know, he got rocked by Linares, but Linares is a heavy puncher. Took care of Joseph Diaz. Took care of Kambosos 2 times, 2022. First of all in June, and then in October, down under. And then, what is that, May 2023, he danced with Vasily Lomachenko, Las Vegas, MGM Grand, beat him. And then, what's this, December 2023, that's 2 fights in 2022, 2 fights in 2021. Oh, only 1 fight in 2020. 4 fights in 2019. So the guy has stayed active. And talking about Vasily Lomachenko, you know he's fighting Kambosos next. Down under again. John Dealey up in the building. How do you do? So where was I? Where were we? Haney lets his dad, Bill Haney, do all the talking for him, as he doesn't have the gift to trash talk. He's done some trash talking. I beg to differ with the article, although Haney now is adorning himself in gold chains and clothes, fixing his teeth in what some see as him becoming a chameleon. A chameleon? Becoming a chameleon? How do you become a chameleon? Or he's being a chameleon. Becoming a chameleon. I suppose you could say someone's becoming a chameleon. How do you become a chameleon? If you fix your teeth, then that's not chameleon-like. That's a change. You can't change back. A chameleon can change back and forth, laterally. What are you talking about? It looks like he's a poser who is dismantling, who is taking care of people, taking care of the top fighters. How do you call a man who's fighting the best out there and beating the best out there? How do you call that man a poser? What the hell is that all about? What the hell is that all about? Tank's fuming. They made me mad. If they want something, they got to send something to my door, like 2 Ferraris or something. They picked Francis Ngannou, who was Tyson Fury's opponent last October, over a real boxer in the heavyweight division, and now they're doing it with Anthony. What? Oh, this isn't Tank talking. This is the writer. Now they're doing it with Joshua. If they view Haney as a bigger star than Tank, there's nothing the Baltimore native can do about it. He'll either have to agree with what's offered or move on. I mean, that's the crux of the thing. That's the hux of the thing. The crux and the hux. Oh, is that it? Is that what they're saying? What the hell is going on? Big boys boxing. What the hell is going on? They got to send him 2 Ferraris just for Tank to engage in some kind of dialogue. That's not to accept the fight. That's just to have a conversation. That's just to have a conversation. Big Boys Boxing is muted. I'll take a sip from my cup. It's pure water, I assure you. Aqua. Oh, dang. Audi alias TT is up in the building. Dang, what time is it? That's just early for you. You don't normally tune in so early. Just got in from work, I would imagine. Good evening, Mr. Dawkins. As a brother Muslim, is Mr. Tank Davis disrespecting Turkey al-Sheikh? Well, I don't know if he's disrespecting him on religious grounds. I don't know if he's disrespecting him. But what is it? What is he doing? What is he doing? He's being very cheeky. Is it disrespect? Does it cross the line over into disrespect? You send me. Well, it's not very respectful, is it? It's not a very respectful tone. I'll say that. I'll give you that. I will say that Tank is adopting a tone which is not very respectful. But I go as far as to say it's disrespectful. Maybe. It's or at the very least it's uncouth. But more than that, beyond that, I'll say that it goes beyond that, and it gives the impression, it smacks of someone who doesn't want the fight. It smacks of someone who doesn't want the fight.
Isn't it same shit, different day from Tank?
Well, talk to me. Big Boys Boxing up in the building. How do you do?
I'm good, mate. Hope you're well.
Yeah, it's been milder. It's been freezing cold over here the last week, but I think I woke up, when was it? Sunday morning or Saturday morning? Saturday morning, I didn't have to put the heat on. There's been a couple of nights where I've just left the heat on overnight on a low setting. It's been that cold, but it's milder now. It's milder now.
It's the exact opposite here.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Are you the North Island or the South?
I'm in the North Island. I'm South Auckland. So
South
yeah,
Auckland,
it's yeah,
South Auckland is the North Island.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
and correct me
Top
if I'm
half of the North Island.
correct me if I'm wrong, but the North Island is supposed to be warmer than the South Island.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
considerably.
Oh, considerably. Okay, okay. Yeah,
We got the Southern Alps that get a lot of snow down the South Island. We only have a central plateau in the middle of the North Island that gets a little bit of snow in the winter, but it's pretty warm everywhere else up in the north.
yeah. I think I prefer the north to the south in that case. Yeah, absolutely. So talk to me about Tank Davis. Yeah, you got apparently you got to send me 2 Ferraris just to open the dialogue.
Yeah, that dude's not going to get a fight in Saudi. It's not so much disrespectful to Turkey Al Sheikh, I don't think. It's just disrespectful to the sport. It's the same thing from Tank as far as I'm concerned. He's a champion now at 135. He's an email champ, by the way. Just like he told everybody else. He hasn't fought anybody with any real substance at 135, and he's talking like he's the face of boxing. Get the hell out of town, man. It's crazy. He did make a lot of money fighting Ryan, and like you said, he brings a lot of casual observers to the fight.
Yeah.
The next fight Tank has, I guarantee you, he won't even do 300,000 in his pay-per-views.
Yeah. That would be about his level. His level. You see, for me, it's like deja vu. This is like deja vu. Tank saying, yeah, send me 2 Ferraris first. Well, he's basically saying, well, shove your offer where the sun don't shine. To me, that's what he's saying. Shove your offer where the sun don't shine and come and lick my boots while you're at it. After you do that, come and lick my boots.
Yeah, man. That boy and the word respect, they do not go together. He doesn't know what the word means. So he should be grateful he's even getting an offer, because most of it's heavyweights and the bigger weights that Al Sheikh is interested in. So he should be grateful and jumping on the chance. But no, he can stay over at the PBC, earn his little paychecks. Unless he fights somebody of some substance, then he might do some real numbers. But until then, he needs to sit down and shut up.
Or get up and fight.
Exactly.
And you see, this is giving me deja vu. It's giving me bad vibes, bad memories. It reminds me, I had to bring his name up again, but I have to. It reminds me of the Deontay Wilder AJ saga, where it's just one obstacle after another. And it seems that it's the PBC way. It's the PBC way. The things have to be stacked in their favor for them to accept a fight for themselves. So yeah, the card has to be stacked in the favor of PBC for them to accept a fight. They can't just take a fight and say, okay, you know what? They can't do what Devin did. What did Devin do? Devin took the short money. Devin took the unfavorable terms. You got to come down to Australia and beat us in our own backyard for the short money. And not only that, but if you win, we don't go to your territory if you win. We don't even go to a neutral territory if you win. You bring your ass back down under and beat us again in our own backyard, even though you've already beat us the first time. So The cards were stacked against Devin. But what did he do? He rose to the occasion. He said, you know what? I'll take it. Make the contract as bad as you want to make it. I will take it. And that's because he was confident. That's confidence. That's what confidence looks like. That's what confidence looks like, that you're going to beat the other guy regardless of how disadvantageous the contract may be. And that's something that Deontay Wilder wouldn't do even at 120 million for 3 fights. Big boys boxing.
Yeah, the deja vu you started with there, I was going to say it's not just Wilder, it's like you said, the PBC way. I mean, Devin did it right. He's a legacy fighter. He makes a sacrifice to get to being recognized as a great fighter, and the money comes after that. Simple as. But it seems all the PBC fighters want to use the media to hype themselves up and make out like they're these great fighters. And the public, they expect the public to just turn a blind eye to the fact that they ain't fought nobody. But they want these massive paydays. It's like they think the public's stupid, but most of us real boxing fans see straight through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just keep on banging on with the same method. Hype it up in the media. I would do this to such and such. I would do that to such and such. But they never ever fight such and such. It's crazy. It's disgusting to me, really.
It's terrible. It's really terrible. It's terrible, but I think that surely now people can just see straight through. They can just see straight through this crap, and it's just the usual PBC way. Talk a hell of a lot, talk as if you want it, but when it comes down to it, now like it's come down to the fact that Turkey, His Excellency Turkey Al Sheikh, he wants it, and he cannot be questioned. His intentions cannot be questioned. His ability to do almost the impossible, drag Deontay Wilder from out of the USA, get him on a plane and have him fighting in foreign territory. When was the last time Deontay Wilder fought off the USA shores? When was the last time? And when was the last
Woodley
time?
Harrison.
Yeah, several years ago. Maybe as close as 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 7 years ago. And he's done the impossible. He had him fighting on the same card as Anthony Joshua. Had him fighting a legit top 10 guy who's been in the top 10 for many a year, 5-6 years consistently. Fought a number of other consistent, legitimate top 10 guys. Fought some number 1 guys in the form of Joshua when they fought, or top 3 certainly, top 2 certainly. And what does he do? What happens? He comes up short, terribly short. He looks like he doesn't even look amateur level. He doesn't even look as if he was amateur level in there when he came up against a legit, solid, legit top 10 guy. Didn't even look amateur level. And I'm not saying that Gervonta Davis is a better caliber fighter. Yes. I'm not saying he's the low caliber of Deontay Wilder, but the same principle applies. You won't take the top fight. You talk about it, you talk a good one, but when it comes to the crunch, when push comes to shove, and an offer is about to wing its way to you, you start basically abusing the offer maker. How dare you? Send me two Ferraris for your audacity. Send me 2 Ferraris for your audacity, and then we can we can begin to talk. That those Ferraris don't get no guarantee from me. That's just for your audacity. And it's the PBC way. It's the PBC way. And if there's a good thing to come out of this, is that with Deontay Wilder, the Deontay Wilder saga that we've watched unfold more latterly since he's gone down there to Saudi without any excuses, just all out of excuses. The referee wasn't drunk this time. His trainer didn't spike his drink this time. There was no horseshoe in the glove this time. There was no egg weights involved this time. And all that was left was a guy saying, man, I had to laugh my ass off when I saw how happy Joshua and Eddie were. They were happy. They were happy. Meanwhile, he's the guy who's happy when any top competitor of his comes up short in a fight with someone else. He's the one who's happy when Joshua loses to Usyk. You'd have thought the guy would have been sick to his stomach if he thought he could have won. Sick to his stomach at all the money that he lost out on. But no, he wasn't. He was happy. He was happy. He's the one who's always happy. He was the one who's always happy when when a potential legit opponent of his loses. And how is that not breathing a sigh of relief? How is that not the equivalent of breathing a sigh of relief? But that's the PBC way. Big Boys Boxing. It's PBC way.
Yeah. With regards to Wilder, he's talking about Joshua being happy after he beat Otto Wallen. He'd just won his fight. He's got every right to be happy. He was the headline. Deontay Wilder thinks the world revolves around him. He wasn't the main event.
Nope. He was a sideshow. He was a
sideshow. He was the sideshow. Yeah.
Sideshow Bob.
Yeah. And with regard to Tank too, no, I don't think I've heard anybody say that he's not a good fighter.
No.
He is a good fighter, but he's never going to be great until he takes these fights against people that it's not a predetermined result. So, I mean, that dude's got to get his head out of the clouds. So does Deontay Wilder. I mean, I had good respect for Jamal Charlo prior to the Canelo fight. I wasn't liking how he was dodging Tim Tszyu and trying to make every excuse in the book about not fighting this guy and that guy. He wanted to hold on to his belts, and then he put that performance in against Canelo. It was clear he was just there for the payday. You want a payday?
Payday. You want payday. I know that.
Yeah. So yeah, the PBC. It's all about the money. I'd call them more prize fighters than boxers. They're there simply for the money. They'll use any tactics to get an advantage prior to the fight to get the fight made, and then demand the biggest bag out of it. And a lot of the time, the fights aren't worth it. So Al Heyman's got to stop trying to run his boxing stable like a music business, because this ain't music.
For real. And if it was music, then this has been one sustained sour note.
Damn right.
Yeah. I'm just looking at Javon today. Well, as a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat. Let's have a get into the chat. So we did that one. Tank is very angry. They might make him fight someone with a pulse. OMG. At 5'1", is Tank big enough to drive? Well, so long as he gets one of them whoopee cushions.
Well, that was something I was thinking of. Maybe Turkey Al Sheikh should send him 2 of those little electric kids' cars, Ferraris, and with a note saying, "Here you go, you disrespectful little shit. You won't be getting anything else out of me."
He should do that. You should do that.
Yeah.
You should do that. You should absolutely send them little kiddies motorized, little kiddies toys, Ferraris, the little kiddie cars. Send him a little kit car. Send him a little kit car.
He'd be able to see over the dash at least.
At least that. You know what I mean? Frank Martin or Tank Davis date now confirmed. Frank Martin or Tank Davis? Frank Martin, is that a fact? Is that what you're telling me? You tell me that's a fact?
I had heard that Frank Martin didn't want that fight, but maybe they're meaning that 30th of March date on Amazon is going to be either one of them as the main event.
Oh, I see what you mean. Frank Martin or Tank now confirmed. Okay. Joe Joyce versus Cash Ali, joke or comedy? He's gone all the way down. He's picking someone all the way down, and maybe that's what he needs. I mean, I think a lot of it was to do with the fact that he was fighting a southpaw, but then he fought the southpaw second time around and didn't seem to make the necessary adjustments. So he took some concussions in both fights, and maybe that's why he's dropped all the way down. Maybe if he didn't take the rematch, he wouldn't have dropped all the way down. Well, he's dropped all the way down now. But of course, it would be difficult for him not to take the rematch. Even though I don't think it was in his best interest to take the rematch, because he had to make up so much ground. He was so bad in the first fight that he would have to make up so much ground just to be competitive in the second fight, I felt. And I felt that in that short amount of time, 5 months, 4 or 5 months, I felt that he couldn't do that, because it was clear to me he was at 6s and 7s against the southpaw, the big bang. The big bang zang. He was at 6s and 7s, and I couldn't see him correcting all of them mistakes in those few months, big boys boxing. I couldn't see it.
Yeah, hindsight's 2020, isn't it? I mean, after that first one, maybe it would have been an okay idea to not take the rematch, and maybe others might have seen him as a little bit more vulnerable, and they would have taken fights with him. I know there's a lot of guys that won't fight Joe Joyce because they know what they're in for.
Yeah.
After getting splattered in the second one, there's a lot of people that'll fight him now, but he's got to have a comeback. I think Cash Ali's probably a bit lower level as a comeback. He gets a pass, of course, because he's coming off 2 knockouts, but I don't expect Cash Ali to last any more than 3 rounds. I think he'll be out of there by then, and it's nothing more than a confidence builder, really.
Yeah.
So I want to see Joyce come back because he's an all-action fighter. He's really entertaining to watch, and he gives a lot of guys problems. Certain styles aren't going to be quite right for him. I think Jili Zhang's just one of those kryptonite styles for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, good luck to him. I hope he doesn't get bitten against Cash Ali when Cash gets frustrated. Yeah, hopefully he has another quick turnaround and we see him against a bit better opponent next time around.
Yes. We were just talking about him coming in against Cash Ali, very lowly opponent, but there was someone else this last weekend who fought a lowly opponent. Let me see if I can bring BEON. See if I can pull this guy, pull him up.
Hey, did you hear Luis Ortiz had a fight?
Well, that's what I was looking for.
Oh, okay. Right, yeah.
That's what I was looking for. And we have found him. Okay, let's bring that down and let's pull up this, talking about PBC, talking about PBC. We're talking about PBC again. Luis Ortiz. allegedly 44 years of age. A very sprightly looking granddad, if ever there was one. And his last fight was against, well, it was on the 13th. It's just happened this last weekend. It's like almost like a secret fight. It took place in, where is this?
Colombia.
Colombia, Cartagena, in the Cartagena district, against Francesco Cordero, and he beat him in the first round. It was an 8-rounder, and what's that? That's a KO. No film is available, and this is Francesco Cordero. Don't look like a heavyweight to me. Don't look like a heavyweight to me. Look at Cordero's. How do I get this damn thing out of the way? His last fight, Luis Ortiz lost. Jermaine Richards lost. TKO. Jesus Escalera lost. KO. Thomas Limana lost. TKO. Dervin Colina lost. TKO. Oh, sorry, KO. And yeah, so that was the caliber. That was the caliber that Luis Ortiz went up against. Got him out of there in one round. I don't know. Was there any money in this? It wasn't televised. Who was paying for this? Did he get what how much did he get paid for this? Untelevised.
No clue. Probably maybe $200.
Crazy. It's crazy, yo.
The only dude I heard of in that guy's record is that Jesus Escalera. The rest of them I've never heard of.
Never heard of him. I've never heard of him. And this is the PBC way. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is the guy who turned down, what was it, 5-6 million to fight Joshua at short notice. The fight that Andy Ruiz stepped in and became heavyweight champion. This is the guy. This is the guy now fighting for what? 50 grand? Could you got 50 grand, 30 grand, 50 grand?
Who knows? It's probably not even under Al Heyman. It's probably Dade Promotions, his main manager, that sorted out a fight, because all these PBC guys are ending up on small, tiny shows because they can't get fights anywhere at the moment. So they've got to go elsewhere.
It's crazy, yo. It's absolutely crazy. What's this here? Mr. Dawkins, have we come up with the 5 fighters for Matchroom versus Queensbury? Going to choose to have one as requested by Al Sheikh. Which team is the A side? That's a heavy one, my friend. That's a heavy one. That would take some time and thought. You know, what weight categories? I guess they'd have to pick weight categories and pick their best that way. I mean, but you know, that's going to be interesting to see who they come up with. It's going to be interesting to see who they come up with. That's the Audi Alias and the special case. Has anyone else heard talk of Jalalov versus Ortiz in the works? I have not. I don't know if Big Boy Boxing has.
Nah, I've heard Jalalov's going to be on one of the cards, but I haven't heard anything about an opponent yet. That'd be good if that happens.
Yeah.
That's a decent step up for Jalalov.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain about that. Certainly not. Good step up fight for Jalalov. Ortiz is declining, but a name of some note. Let's have a look. Tio is now calling out Crawford. Now that Crawford is looks like he's probably got a fight with Tszyu. Looks like Crawford. Am I right in saying that? I think that's what's been talked about. Is it not? Crawford v Tszyu. Is that what's been talked about?
I've heard a few whispers that it should happen, but I heard Terence Crawford saying that Tim Tszyu's a bum. So
Uh-oh.
I don't know.
Uh-oh. Tim Zoo's a bum. He's got to fight somebody.
He does.
I don't think Tim
There's
Zoo.
plenty of people to fight at 154 though. That's a hot division at the moment.
Yeah, it's a hot division. It's a hot division. It's a hot division. So Crawford versus I like that fight. It's 154. I like that fight. That's a good fight for that's an entertaining fight with boys boxing. That's a competitive fight. Crawford's
Yep.
going up to Tim Tszoo's home. And Tim Tszoo is a damn good proponent of the art. Of course, son of Costa Tszoo, however you pronounce that. Raised by a champion and now a champion himself. How do you see that going? How do you see that fight going? I'd watch that fight. I mean, I think they're talking about Crawford going down under. Are the government still sponsoring Cambosis and them Australian guys down there?
Yeah, they put in a bit for some of the big shows. If Crawford came down to Australia, they'd definitely be in. And Tim's a massive draw when he's in Australia.
Yeah.
So there'd be some decent money in it if Terrence came down here.
Yeah. And that's where I think he should go.
I think it'd be a hell of a fight. Tim Tszoo would come to fight. I think Terrence would win probably in a later rounds or something, but it'd be a hell of entertaining fight, that's for sure.
100%. 100%. I'd watch that fight. Yeah, well, Apatea, Special K, Apatea has left the camp because he's got an opponent now, orthodox opponent. So, whereas before he didn't. So it don't spell no sense him staying down there in Saudi. That's where Fury is now. It don't make sense him staying down there in Saudi, helping out Fury when he needs specific sparring himself, because everybody else down there in Fury's camp is a southpaw. Obitaya is now fighting a conventional, an orthodox fighter whose name escapes me. So
Myris Breedis.
Oh yeah, it's Breedis, isn't it? Bloody hell, the rematch. Oh blimey, yeah. That's one to look forward to. Yeah, Breedis. So Breedis is orthodox. And so Apataya clearly needs to get back to, it's Australia, isn't it? An Australian fella.
Yeah.
He needs to get back to Australia and get into his training camp. So I don't think there's anything crazy. I don't think Fury knocked out Apataya. I don't think Apataya knocked out Fury. It's more mundane. It's more mundane. It's just a simple case of the guy's got a fight with Breedis now. Was that for the March? Is that for the March event?
No, that's February 17th. That's the co-main for the Fury card.
Damn, that's February 17th. That's what? That's less than a month away.
Yeah, man.
That's less than a month away. Yeah, he's got to get his ass back to Aussieland and get some bloody sparring in, mate. Face Marius Breedis, who's got everything to fight for. Past his best now, but he's still got everything to fight for. Big boys boxing.
What does get me though is why fly all the way to Saudi Arabia just to spar 5 rounds and then turn around and go home? Surely, hit on his way to Saudi, or before he even left, he should have known what was going to be there and what was to be expected of him. So I think there's something has happened. I don't think it's Fury got knocked out or Jai got knocked out or anything. I think it's Jai might have been a bit too vicious for Fury. To be honest, he's that quick.
I thought that.
And he was probably trying to put it on Fury to show what he's worth. First time sparring. So
yeah, I was thinking that.
But there's also the other possibility is maybe Fury's training as a southpaw. Maybe he's going to try and fight as a southpaw against Usyk,
Yeah,
and that's not going to prepare Jai for Breeders.
that's
So
what I
he
was
was
thinking.
pissed off and left.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that Tyson himself must have been fighting Southpaw, because then that would mean that Apitaya was not getting any orthodox sparring in, which
Yeah.
is the story. So that speaks to the notion that Tyson Fury is sparring as a southpaw and is intending. This is breaking news, folks. You heard it here first. We surmise that Tyson Fury is sparring as a southpaw and intends to fight Usyk largely as a southpaw, and as such, there was no orthodox sparring for Apitaya. Did he get a bit spicy in there? I must admit, the thought did cross my mind, because I can't see Apitaya being a gentle sparring type of guy.
No, he's not that kind of guy.
No.
He's intimidating, even just speaking. That guy. So you can't
Yeah.
imagine him playing nice in the boxing ring.
No. No. I don't think Apitaya is the type of guy to go in there and tickle. I don't think it's in his makeup. I think he's got one speed, and I think that speed may not have been to the Fury camp's liking. I can see some people, oh, no, easy. Hey, it's just sparring, easy. And I can see that not being to Apitaya's liking, and him just packing his bags. Well, hold on a second. How long has he known about the fight anyway? About the Breeders fight? Yeah.
About a week, I think. But I think it was supposed to be the plan. When Jai first had that Alice Zorro fight, it was supposed to be the plan. When he's done that, he's going to fight Breeders. And Turkey Alashake made it clear to him. So he knew it was coming, I think. But yeah, if Jai was in there, he got told, "Hey, this is sparring." He says, "Well, I'm here to." I would imagine he would say, "Look, I'm here to get experience and get ready for my fight as well. I'm not here just for you. The world doesn't revolve around you. I've got my own stuff. So if you're not gonna give me hard sparring, there's no point in me being here. Catch you later."
Yeah. That makes sense. But even so, I mean, wasn't it a bit of a strange decision from Apitaya to be over in Saudi when he's got a fight with Breeders coming in less than a month?
Yeah, I don't know why he bothered even going back to Australia. He might as well have stayed in Saudi and set up his own camp there.
Yeah.
Would have made sense.
Yeah.
Be well acclimatized to the time zone and all that sort of jazz.
Yeah. So I can understand now, thinking about it, why people are, there's a lot of speculation going on. I can understand the speculation now. It just seems quite strange. Quite strange.
I don't think there's any doubt that something actually happened, because nobody takes a 10-hour flight halfway around the world for 5 rounds of sparring just to go home again.
Yeah,
something happened.
Something, you know what? So it looks like something happened. So it looks like, yeah, it's not adding up. It's not adding up. Something may have happened indeed, because it's just not adding up. The times, the dates, the acclimatization or the lack of acclimatization. Now, something happened. That's a long trip. Yeah, well, only 5 rounds. I heard Fury got starched out.
There's lots of people saying lots of things that we can hear at the moment about lots of different scenarios. So who knows what's right?
Who the hell knows what happened? Who the hell knows? Wouldn't it be funny if that actually happened? He starts Fury, and then they withhold it, and then Fury goes in there against Usyk with a concussion. Oh man, that would be crazy. And then later on, the story, and it would be Apatai's fault. Big boys boxing, Apatai's fault.
Yeah, Apatai's fault because Tyson didn't defend himself well enough. but if that is the case, something like that, it helps me because I'm at this point I'm picking Alexander Usyk to stop Fury late. So some concussion will help my pick along the way.
Yeah. I mean, the fight's in February. What date in February?
17th.
It's the 17th of February. 17th of February. What am I saying? What am I looking for? I'm looking for Tyson Fury. I'm looking for Tyson Fury. We might as well talk about it. I don't think we've spoke about it recently. I don't think so. Tyson Fury versus Usyk. Is Tyson Fury slowing down? Is Tyson Fury missing a step? Is Tyson Fury in the process of deterioration? And if he is, does he have enough left in him to beat the prolific scoring Alexander Usyk? Throws 2 to 3 times more punches per round than Tyson Fury.
I think he's on the way out. I think he's on the slide. I think he's been on the slide pretty much since that Wilder trilogy. Coupled with the fact that he put on all that weight to fight Wilder so he can bully him, but he does a lot of road work. His knees will be getting shot. His ankles will be getting shot. He's been knocked over a fair few times as a pro. A lot of contributing factors. The 3 wars, how much did it take out of him? We saw it's taken quite a bit out of Wilder. Don't forget, Tyson was down 4 times in that trilogy as well. So it's got to have taken something out of him. Alexander Usyk's only a year younger as well, but he's a consummate professional and he doesn't get hit like Tyson Fury does. I think the speed, the ring IQ is just going to be too much for Tyson at this stage. If it was a Tyson Fury that fought Vladimir Klitschko, then I think it'd be a pretty legit 50-50 fight, but we ain't got that Tyson Fury. I know he put out a photo of his sparring team yesterday where Jai Opetaia wasn't in there, and he actually looks quite slim, but dropping that much weight in a short amount of time doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be at your best. It just means you've lost a lot of weight so you can maybe move faster, but you might not be able to move faster for long because you're not conditioned enough and so on and so forth. So, I think Tyson's on the slide, and I think he's been kind of hiding it well ever since that Wilder trilogy.
Yes. It's a tricky one. Who do I go with? I favored Usyk in this one for some time. Although I think that Tyson Fury is a prideful man, as most of the champions are, and he is not going to want to lose this fight. I see a lot of smothering or attempted smothering from Tyson Fury. I see Usyk punching while Fury is trying to smother. I see Usyk doing a lot of work on his inside game. Punch to the body, circle out, because he's not going to want to stand there and grapple. Usyk isn't going to want to stand there and grapple with the big polar bear. The big polar bear that is Tyson Fury. He's not going to want to do that. So I see Usyk doing a lot of practicing, close quarters punching. and then slipping out under one of Tyson Fury's arms, slipping out, to the left or to the right, slipping out. So the long levers, Tyson Fury's long levers, Usyk will look to make that work against him, against Fury. And yeah, I simply see Usyk outlanding Fury. And as I visualize this now, I see Usyk dropping Fury. Should I say what I'm thinking? OMG, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm visualizing it, so I have to say it. I can see Alexander Usyk knocking Tyson Fury out. TKO. Referee counts Tyson Fury out. Tyson Fury raises up. He gets up at the count of 9. But he's unsteady on his feet. The referee, is he going to stop it there? No, of course he's not. He's going to look at him for a long time and say, all right, go on then. Usyk's going to come in and another flurry to the chin of Tyson Fury. And does Tyson Fury go down a second time? Wow, this is wild, yo. I always thought it would be by points, and it probably will be by points, but I can see Tyson Fury being dropped in the fight against Usyk. OMG.
Yeah, man, I think he's going to get dropped several times, 2 or 3 times. Not from heavy shots or anything, like you were saying with Alexander getting a flurry off, then stepping around and throwing a right hook out of the blind spot or something. Things like that is what he's really good at. And, even that kind of hook jab that put Dubois out of the fight, that was a blind spot shot as well. He's just so fast. But also that footwork, I don't think Tyson's going to try and grab hold of him and lean all over him as much, just judging by his body shape in that photo yesterday. He's a lot slimmer than we've seen him in a long time. So I expect he's going to try and box from the outside and use his, 8-inch reach advantage or whatever crazy number it is. But I think if there are situations where Tyson does manage to get hold of Usyk on the inside, I think it'd be a good idea for Usyk just to drop down to a knee. If he's not getting punched, just drop down and don't let him push the weight on him. And the referee's going to have to tell Tyson to stop pushing him down. So, we'll see what happens. But it's going to be very interesting. The first round, we're going to know a lot from the first round. I think so.
Yeah. Curious, very curious. Seeing for the longest time, Tyson Fury was not interested in that fight, and but credit to His Excellency Turkey Al Sheikh. He made it happen. He made him an offer they couldn't refuse. And,
let's not beat around the bush, man. If it wasn't for Turkey Al Sheikh and his big bucks, Tyson would have avoided this fight like the plague.
That's true. Well, he was doing that.
Yeah.
So it was. This is all down to His Excellency Turkey Al Sheikh coming up with a bag that Tyson Fury could not refuse. Usyk was already in for it. Usyk was up for it. Usyk accepted adverse terms. Just to
he accepted the fight before even Turkey Al Sheikh was involved, when it was still what's it called? Skills Challenge. He'd signed with them for the fight.
So he wanted it. He wanted it, mate. And now it's going to happen. But we need to talk about this. Hold on a second. Let me just line this up.
How's your poll going?
Say that again. Oh yeah, the poll.
Eh,
The poll. Where is it? Okay. Well, that's fascinating. That's fascinating. And let's end the poll there. And let's share. Let's share the results. It's quite interesting because that, of course, is the next topic that we're going to be talking about. And so let's get the poll up in there and let's show the people. Okay, so who won? 57% of respondents said Mayor. I must misread that. 21% of respondents said Jonas. And another 21% of respondents said it was a draw. Now, by my calculations, that's 1% that YouTube have kept for themselves. Very interesting. That's an interesting turnout. Indeed. An overwhelming amount of people feel that Mayor won. And to be honest, I'm one of them. I had predicted that this fight was going to go down like this. I had predicted that it was going to be the volume puncher against the lesser volume puncher. But the difference with this fight and the Baumgartner fight is that you had a volume puncher against a power puncher in Baumgartner. So one could understand and one could see how the judges would say, did say at times that no, you threw more, landed more punches, Mayor, in this particular round, but the power punches negated your volume. And I could see that against Mayor. But it's a more difficult case to argue against Jonas because Jonas isn't the power puncher that Baumgartner is. We've never seen Jonas turn anyone into a statue like Baumgartner did Terry Harper. So yeah, it wasn't really a volume puncher versus the power puncher. It was a volume puncher versus a less volume puncher. So different equation from the Maya situation. And I said that it was going to be, take your pick. But I said that Maya was going to outland Jonas. And that's exactly what happened. Do I think it's a robbery? I don't know if it's a robbery. I don't know. But I can't really say it's not because I haven't really sat down and watched the whole fight in one go, seeing little drips and drabs. From what I saw, I believe, for me, that Maya edged it. But I didn't see a battering and I didn't see a beating. I don't believe I saw a robbery. But like I said, I'm going to have to sit down and watch the whole thing from beginning to end to have a definitive statement on that. But Big Boys Boxing, you got some strong views on the matter.
Yeah, I thought it was a clear robbery. I watched the whole thing live, and I scored it 7-3 or 8-2 in favour of Mayer. There is no doubt that Jonas was landing some good, clean counter shots here and there. But then when Mayer was flurrying as well, the left hooks that she was throwing was snapping Jonas's head back in between the other punches that she was throwing that weren't landing or not landing as heavy. So I thought the amount of power punches Mayer landed might have even outlanded with power punches than what Jonas was throwing. There's no doubt Jonas won the first round and maybe even the second. I can't remember which was the third one. That might have been the fourth round or something. The fifth round maybe.
Yeah,
Was a swing round for me, and that was the decider. But there was at least 6 rounds that were clear to Mayer to me.
right.
So, once it's 7-3, that's a clear win to me. 6-4, obviously that gets a bit closer, and you wouldn't be worried about maybe it went to a draw. But going the other way completely, I thought that was disgusting myself. I did think Maya actually lost that Baumgardner fight because I see a lot of people saying that Maya got ripped off in England again, and I'm like, well, no. I thought the first one was close, and that one could have gone either way. I thought Baumgardner actually did just win it,
Yeah,
but this one I think was quite a bit different. So
yeah.
it is what it is. I don't see Michaela Mayer ever wanting to come back to Britain thanks to that. So that's a real shame because
Mm,
I think this fight, if they ran it back, would
mm,
draw a few people's eyes to women's boxing. And
mm.
if Maya doesn't get that rematch and is reluctant to go back to Britain, that's a big loss to boxing.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's American. Hopefully, they can start appreciating her a bit more because the reason she's fighting in the UK might be that she's not as appreciated in her homeland. So maybe with the controversy stirred up from this fight, maybe you whip up some attention for Maya in her homeland, and maybe people will have to end up flying out to see her. So
Good point.
yeah, she can maybe capitalize on this thing. And you know what? I think we've done it, Big Boys Boxing. Is there any other topic that you wanted to talk about before we wrap this baby up?
I mean, pretty much covered it. And I was about to say I've got visitors turning up shortly, and I'm going to have to fly anyway. So that worked
Awesome.
out quite nicely.
Nice timing. That was the Big Boys Boxing. Thank you, Big Boys Boxing. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you very much, everybody. Take care. We'll see you next time. See ya.
Excellente. That was the Big Boys Boxing. He's got his own channel. Be sure to go over and check him out. Thank you to him for coming over and keeping the Rafi company along with y'all. Jumping on the panel. Let's have a look at what people got to say. Let's have a look. I don't think Fury got starched, but I do think he probably got lit up like a Christmas tree. Oh my gosh. More Wizard Sleeves up in the building. More fake Fury mental health problems incoming. Soon as he loses. OMG. Oh, ye of little faith. Oh, ye of little faith. Trees taken down. All Christmas trees have been taken down. Yeah, should have been the 12th night, which is the 5th. It was weeks ago, surely. Who or when is Deontay fighting? Yeah, because I saw something about Deontay fighting. Let's have a look and let's check the veracity. Of the story. Deontay Wilder fighting. When? And when is Deontay Wilder fighting next? Boom, boom, boom. Not sure how that fight. What's that? That's some old stuff. Who is Deontay Wilder fighting? Where is it? I'm hearing some fireworks out there. Deontay Wilder next fighting. What was the date on that? No, that's no good. No, it's not coming up with anything. Although I think I glimpsed something somewhere saying Deontay Wilder was on. It's fake news then, wasn't it? That was fake news. Pretty sure I saw something somewhere saying that Deontay Wilder was going to be on the undercard. I don't see that now. I'm actually looking for it in cold, hard print. It's not even there. It's not even there. So, no doubt, some idle YouTuber come up with some totally fictitious story. As a matter of fact, where is Deontay Wilder? Where is he? Fury has already lost. Juice can only do so much. Damn. Don't forget the diet change. Okay, the wild boar. The tainted pig's meat. Low controversy incoming. Will there be strict officiating? Who will be the ref? Will Team Usyk check Luke's gloves for floppiness or egg weights? Well, I think they'd be very prudent. After what's happened before, they should definitely check. They should definitely be checking for egg weights. Oh, man. Plenty of time left for a Fury duck? Surely not. The public would never forgive him. I don't know about never. They say never say never. Usyk is the champ we deserve. But the guy's going to retire soon. I don't know. Fury getting schooled. OMG. There's the poll. 57% Mayer. 21% Jonas. 21% draw. Who cares who won? OMG. Oh dear. Close it down. Another topic, West Ham was robbed. OMG. The old tease again. Dinosaurus Ortiz. You have to be a fan of Mayer to really think that was a blind robbery. It was a great fight, and Jonas fought her ass off. My gosh, Deverne again. OMG, that would be horrible. Horrible. It's wrestling gators in Tuscaloosa. Damn. I didn't even like Mayer's style of fighting. In that fight, she reached way too much. Well, you know what? I couldn't really fully score it because I didn't watch it fully. I wasn't fully paying attention. It did not have my undivided attention, so I can't really score it. Can't really say I scored it because I didn't. But I will at some point have to watch it back, and I will comment on my assessment. No problem. What's going on here? What's going on? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, and let me go through the YouTube's back door, and let me make sure that everything is cool and copacetic. And is there something I forgot to do? Yes. That's easily remedied. That's the live show. We're saving that. And we're also ticking buttons. Boom. What's this here? Yeah, that's all good. And boom. Oh, why is that's limited? Why is that limited? That's peculiar. And that's bizarre. How bizarre. Let's have a quick look at the analytics. What's this here? Oh, okay. Okay. Let's have a look at that. Jolly good. Okay. Very acceptable. Very acceptable. Acceptable. Okay. And so what we got here? Okay, that's it. We've done it. There's a lot to talk about. Rafi came in, got some grub down, and made a thumbnail. Posted that up, posted it on Instagram, and got to post it in a couple of other places after the show. You know the topics. Mr. Tank Davis saying he wants 2 Ferraris from Turkey Al Sheikh just to sit down and talk. He wanted 2 Ferraris. I don't think. Oh, okay. Want 2 Ferraris. Yeah, I think that's quite disrespectful. That's quite disrespectful. And hopefully the Sheikh just washes his hands of him. Just wash your hands of him. If you can't keep a civilized tongue in his mouth, then just wash your hands of him. Move on. And we talked about a bunch of things, but we also talked about the Natasha Jonas versus the Michaela Maya. Some people, 21% of the respondents said Jonas won. 21% of respondents said it was a draw. Or 57% of respondents said that Maya should have been crowned victor. Victory! V for victory! Okay. And now Rafi is tired. Well done all. Another great show, Mr. Dawkins. Just forget about Stank Davis. For real, for real. Now Rafi's tired. Now it's time for his hot chocolates, hot cocoa before bed. And rest and recuperate. And we'll be back, if not tomorrow, then the day after. And the only thing left for me to say is blessed.